Today I'm gonna do a video on how to set up a remote desktop and screen sharing on Ubuntu 19.10 via the built-in Vino client, and how to use this with Windows or Mac or even your iOS. So months ago I was looking for an easy solution to deploy Ubuntu on a virtual host like a VMware and access it remotely, and just nothing that was out there didn't seem to work. So the already built-in utility that was there, even enabled, didn't really work. I was getting like encryption, authentication errors, connection refused, and all sorts of other errors that just made it challenged. So when I look for solution, there are many out there. People recommended installing like different VNC servers like X11 or Tiger VPN and all sorts of other stuff, but it just took too much work. And I was just looking for an easy, quick solution that will just take advantage of what's already out there, and so I don't have to do much work, just like you do. So my current setup consists of VMware host ESXi 67U3. Have many machines running on it, but for this particular reason, video today, I'm gonna present the Ubuntu 19.10 with built-in Vino, VNC server, and my another Windows machine that has real-vnc viewer built on it. So we start with the installation. This is very similar to like a real hardware. It's just the difference is this is installed virtually on a virtual host, and uh, which is gonna mimic exactly the same thing as if you have this running on a physical machine. In this instance, it gives me a quite a flexibility because I can really select the number of CPUs, the amount of memory and hard drive. I can even set it up to like TIM hard drive to where even though it says it's 500 gig, for example, the actual space that it uses on my hardware is going to be whatever is in currently. So it's going to be much less. So it provides a lot of flexibility, and I can run several instances. I can do Ubuntu, have several others, so it's really convenient. Check it out. They have a free license with some limitations, of course. So when I installed, I selected a minimal installation, and that pretty much took care of all the unnecessary stuff like games, media players, Office, and all the nonsense that I don't really need. As far as web browser, it already both come with Mozilla Firefox, so no issue there. And believe me, it's the community for Ubuntu is so developed that you have everything out there if you need it. So it's very easy. They even have App Store, so even if you don't get it, you can install it anytime. One little remark, normal installation comes with built-in Vino. Minimal doesn't, but it's just one command to install it, so it's really simple. So if you install the normal, it will come with Vino. If you go with minimal, you have to install it manually. So here's where we select the file system. The default one on top is the Ubuntu ext4, and then you have ZFS and something else. For me, ext4, the default option here, seemed to be work the best. Based on my research, ZFS doesn't perform as well. Again, if you feel that ZFS is better for you, go ahead and install it. You're not gonna notice that much of a difference. It's just I'm telling you what worked for me. So here's we going through the installation process. Here is where the installation completes. We restart. This is the first sign-in screen that we get, and this is the desktop. This is the configurations. It will be in the description as well as like link to the RealVNC client. With RealVNC, you can have a RealVNC server that's paid, and RealVNC viewer, which is free. So this is a really good, well-built client, and I I prefer it. Let's see if there is anything else. That's it. So if I go to my ESXi, you'll see all the machines that I'm currently running. Some on, some are off. So this test is what we're going to use today, and this is instance of Windows 10 that we're going to use to mimic a real computer and show you how it's done in Windows. And it happened that I'm recording this on my Mac, so I'll show you how to do this, how to access my Ubuntu environment through VNC that's already built into the Mac. So with that, here is it. We're gonna open it in a new tab. Okay, we're gonna log in. So the way to see that there isn't anything built currently, we go through settings, and when you go into sharing, you're gonna see screen sharing, desktop sharing available to enable, which in this case it's not. And what we have to do is just go to terminal, follow what we have over here. So we're gonna update the repositories. Typing. Okay, looks like everything's up to date. So what we're gonna do now is install the Vino client. Okay, it's installed, and the way to tell is when you go back to sharing. Okay, sharing here. Okay, so go back to settings. Okay, let's type desk. Oh, this is okay, sharing. And as you can see, screen sharing is available. And because I played with this in the past, it's now enabled, but let's just go to where it was before. So you're gonna see it just like this. We're gonna allow connections, we're gonna require passwords, 1, 2, 3, 4 even, and we're gonna put it through the wired connection. So now what I'm gonna do is go to my Windows machine. Okay, and this is where you download the viewer, realvnc.com, connect, download viewer. I already downloaded, it's installed and blank. So what we have to do now is go back to the Ubuntu, go to wired connection, settings, and this is where you're gonna see the IP of this machine. Take a note of that. Go back and type this here. Put port 5900, that's the default one. And as you can see, it's unable to connect. This is where I got in the past. I was very frustrated and I couldn't understand why would this be the case. Is it a firewall issue? So what you have to do in this case is go back and use this configuration. So I'm gonna do gsettings, set. Okay, if you don't get anything, that means it took. So go back to the server. We have this. And there we go. Type in passcode. There it is. Nice and easy, huh? What you have to do for Mac is go to, what you call this, file, export, file browser, whatever files. I think it was files. Finder. Okay. Command key and key, and key as in king. So command and key. It will open connect to a server, and you type VNC and the IP address of the server. So in this case will be 154. Press enter. Ask you for your password again. Sign in. And here it is. Built-in utility. I have this loaded on my iPhone as well. I'm using the VNC, real-vnc app. All you gotta do is just like over here, enter the IP, enter the port. If it doesn't take it by default, and type the password. So if you have VPN set up on your router, or you have ports open, you can really access it from anywhere. Thank you all for watching, and I hope I help some of you today to overcome this. Thank you all.